he stays in the news cycle
all the time,
24 hours a day, all around the clock.
And how calculated is that for him? Like, is he waking up in the morning going, okay, how are we going to affect the news cycle?
It used to be super calculated. I think he's in a rut right now.
No, before.
Oh,
I'm talking like in your guys' heyday. Was it like we wake up in a hotel and you're like...
Well, most of the things, I ended up getting blamed for a lot of things. Like, he could run a news page. Like, I'm going to tell you how just methodical. And this is where people don't realize. It looks organic.
Yeah.
And it is organic. But a lot of the newer
natural
rappers...
to him. He fucking understands it.
He was a cameraman. He was just running. He was a cameraman. He edited all his videos till he went to jail.
Son, once we...
Remember when he got kidnapped? He was editing the video with Nicki Minaj.
Son, once we
he told me the story.
Because
he would just... Play this. Imagine being one of the biggest superstars in the world.
Yeah.
And the label's probably like, you could have like, for like a Drake, they were like, the budget for the video is $1 million.
Director X.
$1 million. He gave $1 million to God's Plan, right? For 6ix9ine, he could have probably commanded a budget of like $300,000, right?
Yeah.
You know what he would do? Just him and his two homies, they grab a camera, and probably the props are where they're gonna film in a hood somewhere, right? It'd probably be like $20,000.
Yeah,
like if that, that's even a lot.
Just keep the rest.
It's not even. No, I don't even think he was even thinking about that. I think he was just asked the label, and the label was like, "Wait, you only need like $10,000? Okay, this is the cheapest thing we ever paid for."
Yeah.
I think Nicki comes to one of the joints, and I think she was like, "Yo, whoa, no, she's a queen. She's
of course,
she's like, no, not about doing your little hood videos. Get the fuck out of here. Get this production value up. And matter of fact, I need a bunch of jets. You know what I mean? Which is dope. You know,
Yeah.
But he's always had that approach of it's almost like a YouTuber that did music.
Yeah.
He used to call me every day, and it would be almost like, yo, I'm posting at 3:00. Make sure you grab it from my page and post it.
Yeah.
Repost it, right? His thing with 3:00 is
that's
analytics.
when the kids are out.
Yeah.
That's the time throughout the day it's
yeah.
most active.
Yeah. Well, the kids
That's
finish school.
Yo, when people most of these rappers who are promoting their shit, they put up a preview at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
They don't even care.
Yeah,
3 a.m. I'm in the studio. I'm drunk and high. Fuck it.
Yeah.
You guys can check it out. He was careful and meticulous enough to say, hey, how do I work all this Instagram, social media shit to my advantage?
Well, think about it. Think about the time. Kids, let's say you post something at 12. The kids can still see it at 12. They can't share with their friends. They can't comment. They're trying to hide their phone in class. They're maybe running to the bathroom to do it. At 3, that's when you get the algorithm pumping. Everybody's out of school. They're passing all around. You want to be part of this thing that's going viral. You're creating your own content based on it as well. I mean, you have that freedom because you're probably not with your parents just yet studying. So there's that little gap. Once we found out he edited his own shit, because we're in the fucking trenches with creating content, right?
Yeah.
So once we found out he edited his own shit, it flipped my whole perspective on him. And I was never someone who was anti him. I was super impressed by the way that he could galvanize people's attention. And there's a lowbrow way to galvanize, which is beef. Beef is lowbrow. Beef is like...
You want to hear a crazy story?
All right, go. But I want to create a caveat before I criticize.
Okay.
Just beef is lowbrow in the same way that mafia movies are lowbrow. It's easy to get me interested in mafia. It's easy to get me interested in selling drugs. You know what I mean? You make a movie about fucking potatoes and you make it really good. That's impressive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That being said, it's what you do around that. And that motherfucker knows content, and most importantly, he knows how people react to content.
Yo.
All right, goes crazy story.
So this is in the midst of the beef. Everybody wants to kill him. 1 week he's beefing with YG. The next minute he's beefing with somebody else in New York, Casanova. He's going crazy. By the way, so surreal and crazy to me. He's living in Brooklyn, just on the same street.
It's crazy.
It was so. Anyway,
we didn't try to move him out. You weren't
I told him, I said, bro, you got to come to Jersey. I want to show you higher living.
Yeah.
You're getting way too much money. But for whatever reason, that was just, and I don't know, for people who grew up in a certain environment, maybe that just still feels at home. You don't want to, and also you might not even think that's struggling. You know what I mean? Now he's used so much higher living, but before it was just no, I'm comfortable here.
Yeah.
Even when he got kidnapped, he was across the street from a park. It was they were playing basketball all day. How the fuck do you go in and out of an apartment building? And it wasn't a high rise. It's just it's a 2-family apartment. Anyway, I kicked it with him one day, and we went to the mall or something like that. And he's surrounded by all these gang dudes and third. And I always respected him because while those elements were around, he knew like that's not me, and he always made sure it was like, all right, cool, y'all chill over there. I'm gonna just go kick it with Act. That's how we build a real relationship, and we're kicking it, whatever. And even then, like they're following us to the thing. They got all type of cars. He's like, nah, I'm riding with Act, and we're driving. Like I have my car at this time. It's some convert. Was it? No, it's a coupe, right? He brings his backpack, whatever the case is. We go to the place, and I remember we got separated. Or like he had to go with them somewhere. And I did. He calls me later and said, yo, Ak, I have a video dropping tomorrow. I need to edit it. I left my backpack in their fucking car. And I'm going to be honest with you. The whole time, I'm sweating bullets. I'm going to tell you why. Everybody wants to kill him. I'm thinking he probably have all type of illegal guns. I don't know what he got in his backpack. But I wonder, I'm like, yo, I always thought, I'm like, yo, what type of kid is this? Because he presents to me a certain front, and we're cool. And he's always is very organic in it. He seems sincere. But sometimes when I see him beefing, I'm like, this guy look like he either got a death wish or he knows something that I don't know, right? And I'm looking at the bag and I'm like, should I open this motherfucker and check this out? Because I'm like, it's no way. It's no way he's talking so crazy. And in this bag, he don't got at least 5 guns. He got to. And I'm like,
this is early on in a relationship.
Yeah, this is early on. This is early on. But I'm like, yo, but everybody wants to kill him. So I'm like, all right, should I? I'm like, yo, I feel like I'm kind of invading this privacy type of shit like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to come bring the bag early in the morning to wherever you live at. And I go to the car and I see the bag and I'm like, nah, bro, you should just stay out of whatever you got going on. Just drive it. And another mind says, Ak, you ain't kind of cool. You need to know. Fucking open the bag. I open the bag, and when I look at it, it's a fucking hard drive, a computer, and like a couple sticks of gum. That's it. I was shocked. I swore there were going to be guns in it because I'm like, there's no way you have everybody wanting to kill you, and you don't have like he was like super carefree. Like, all right, cool. And I'm like, you have to have a bunch of guns in there, and I'm thinking like these guns. I'm like, I might get pulled over. These guys. Like these guns might have bodies on them. Like this is the Treyway guns. Oh my god, I'm freaking out. And I open it. I'm like, oh, it's a fucking Apple laptop.
Free 6ix9ine, bro.
He's out.
No, I'm saying free him from the DSPs and like let him have his shit back. Okay, so what did he know? Wait, what were you gonna say?
I just don't think it was a full blackball because I think the fans also lost faith in him. Similar what happened kind of with Joe. It's like he.
Nah, it's a full black. Yo,
but he put a message out as like, I'm gangster. And like, to an extent, I believed it. Because like, he was talking that shit. He had dudes that were about it. And maybe he wasn't doing it. But if you roll with dudes that are doing it, like, you kind of accomplice. But the moment he gets in trouble, he sells them out. So now it's like, the thing that I liked you for, I no longer believe it. And so it's like, and I can't Alex, hear the music to say.
There came the biggest question, because I used to talk to him in jail. And I said, yo, you're going to get out. And the streets ain't gonna fuck with you. And I remember him saying, listen, I had my reasons. If they can't accept it, it's gonna be whatever.
Yeah.
But I have a completely different audience that don't give a fuck about that type of shit. And it's true. Like, I went to a show, they don't you would think they were looking at him like he was Jesus. Like they didn't care who he told on. You know what I mean? They were like, oh my God, like they look at the pretty colors, they love it. And that's where I was saying, I don't think you might look at it because the quote unquote streets turn their back on him. Like maybe you won't listen to him making that type of music and be like, oh yeah, we believe it. But there's a whole different audience that loves it. Like, keep in mind, he dropped an album while being blackballed and still sold 50-something thousand. They blackballed Tory, and respectfully, I love Tory. Tory's not selling records. They're black when they hit you with that blackball and they take off those playlists.
It's hard.
Like, to give you the equivalency, if the industry had supported that album that sold 50-something thousand, he would have sold at least 220.
But I mean, there was rumors he was using bots.
Break that down.
That's almost superstar numbers. That's superstar numbers.
No.
Where are you getting
down? Like,
$200,000?
how do you get? Break that math.
Because about 80, I keep saying around 80% of plays from an audience.
So the numbers are based on plays.
Is driven by playlists. So if he was supported, it would be at least 4 times the amount. Here's the thing. His numbers without it was still strong enough to still appear. It looked weak because you're looking at him as a superstar, but for anyone else, it's not going to be there. So that's what I'm saying. He could exist, maybe it's not the audience. Like if you go into the fucking hood, you probably ain't gonna hear his music. But if you go to like a lot of these places that have a lot of Hispanic people, that I learned a lot about demographics. I went to a lot of shows that he did. The demographics is wild.
Mexicans love him.
We performed right near. I remember we went there and they're like, the reason we have like, I'm like, do you have like 300 cops because of 6ix9ine? They're like, no, the cartel
Border
just
control.
had. They're like, we just had like, there's a cartel war like not too long ago, like right there. I'm like, huh? We're probably the wrong place with the world's most famous snitch. Hold on. Anyway, we go and perform. Sells out the whole fucking venue. All Hispanic kids. Yeah. A couple whites in there too. Yeah. Not much blacks. But I get to realize, I'm like, shit, you could sustain a career off of that audience. It won't be your conversation piece.
Yeah. But are the numbers real though? Because like there was a little speculation he was using bots.
The numbers got to be real when you get 7,000 people in an arena. In Hidalgo, Texas.
That's the other thing. It's like tickets at the end of the day. Are you selling tickets?
Gotcha.
Do people leave their crib? But yeah, maybe he is using the bots. I guess the bots were to inflate the YouTube numbers or something like that.
Well, and that's what everybody uses bots. Let me put this to bed. Everybody
teach us about bots.
Yeah,
no.
How do we use bots? I need to learn that.
No, you don't want to use it for like your regular YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna fuck up what you got going on.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is like the music industry. The music industry has always been let's make the fans think this is hot, and that they now like fans is. Radio, when they play a song 20 times a day, it's called radio programming. You're programming the mind of a stan or someone who's impressionable. Yeah. So you need to make them think no one wants to support the thing that no one's fucking with.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Yo, but if it's like, yo, this shit did 20 million a day. Yeah. You know what kids are gonna be like, yo, this shit's hot.
Yeah.
And every label puts at least 10 to 15%. And I would speculate, this is just me, between 10 to 15 to 30. Now, the ones who go wild and get like 70 to 80 is clear. Like, you could tell me they're like, no, this is all fake. And that's where they fuck up.
Like who?
I mean, I think at times, French Montana did it.
Really?
Or his label did it for him.
So he might not know, but
I think Soulja Boy did it one time too.
Really?
I don't know if he did it. Again, I'm saying the artists, but I don't think they're doing it. It's their labels.
Which song?
I remember Soulja had a song. It had like 4 million views and like 40 comments. Like it was wild. That's when they weren't buying the comments too. You gotta do the whole package. You gotta buy the views, the comments,
the likes, probably.
Like I know someone who does that shit for like for labels and artists. I won't expose what artists or label who and like some of them is just smaller artists just trying to seem bigger. And the dude is like, yo, he's like, yo, my fingers fucking hurt because I have to type comments as like 15 different people. Oof. Like, you have to type all those comments. You get me?
Oh, shit.
And again, it's cool if you're not wilding out, but if you see rapper A with 5 million views, and you're like, we never heard about you. It's fake, right? So usually labels, they gauge it. People think this video should do about 100,000. We're going to make it seem hot. It's going to do around 200,000. But we're going to put extra comments in there in the second third. That's how they do it, you know?
Oh, shit.
Hey, it's all about manipulating the audience.
And Tekashi was a master at it.
I'm not saying in terms of that, but like, of course, like
without bots.
What did Tekashi understand about people that the average person doesn't?
That's a good question. I don't think it's what he understands about people. Oh, actually, you're right. And he understands. I think he understands about the industry and people.
Okay.
People primarily want the bullshit.
They want the bullshit.
They want the bullshit.
Okay.
They don't want this. They want to get on Instagram and watch shit crash.
Chaos. They want logical nuance. Fuck all that.
They want drama. Like, and that's why I mean, shit. I took a page out, but that's why when we started this, I said, listen, fuck all this background question, biomathematics. Let's get straight to the beef.
Yeah.
Let's get it off.